to another Inside Music Row. Today we'll check out all things Kenny. First we'll sit down with the legendary Kenny Rogers as he talks about a new project plus a very special anniversary of his duet with Dolly. Then we'll switch gears to see what the shine is all about over at Big Kenny's home studio. All this and more coming up Inside Music Row. Hey there, I'm Bailey, and I'm so glad you joined us for another Inside Music Row. We've got a great show today, so let's get started. Willie Nelson is set to release a new collection of duets called To All the Girls. This project contains 18 duets with country's top female singers, including Dolly Parton, Sheryl Crow, Loretta Lynn, Carrie Underwood, and many more. This is Willie's third album of new music to be released in just 16 months. Look for this new project to be released next week. Alan Jackson is bringing a little bit of bluegrass to New York City. Alan just released the Bluegrass album last month and will play a bunch of those tracks when he takes over Carnegie Hall October 28th. Alan last played the historic venue back in 2005 as part of an all-star Grand Ole Opry 80th anniversary celebration. Trace Adkins will release The King's Gift October 29th. This is an album of Celtic Christmas carols and features songs with the Chieftains, Kevin Costner, and many more. Look for Trace to kick off his Christmas show tour November 15th in Effingham, Illinois. This theatrical and musical production runs through December 18th and promises fun for the whole family. This holiday season, Restless Heart will deck the halls with a brand new Christmas album. A Restless Heart Christmas is set to hit stores October 29th and includes 8 holiday classics along with 2 previously unreleased songs. In their 30 years together, this is the group's very first holiday album. Thomas Rhett is also getting into the holiday spirit with his own headlining tour called the Taste of Country Christmas Tour. He'll play 11 dates beginning November 7th in Abilene, Texas, along with the Cadillac 3. Eli Young Band will host their inaugural house party November 9th at Rangers Ballpark in their hometown of Arlington, Texas. This event takes place on the infield and will also include Thompson Square, Easton Corbin, and the Josh Abbott Band. Now it's time to go inside the song. An entirely new audience has now found Joe Diffie, thanks to Jason Aldean's hit 1994. We had a chance to sit down with Joe to talk about his latest hit, which is just a little bit outside the normal country box.
I got to the songwriting session a few minutes late, so D Thrash and Phil O'Donnell, Phil Billy as everybody calls him, they had already kind of come up with the idea, and so I kind of got in there and as it turned out, D Thrash, who's really adept and good at writing these type of hip hop lyrics, we kind of left him in the room by himself after we hashed out the idea, and then Phil Billy and I went in another room literally and wrote the chorus and the bridge and all that stuff, and we came back in there and he had the verses written, so it was kind of an interesting way to do it, not the usual way, but we just felt like it'd be better for him to do that because that's his wheelhouse, and then of course Phil and I that's what we do is write country lyrics and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting combination, interesting way to do it.
I'll be all up on the radio, dashboard lights shining on my baby. Oh, later on gonna have me a little fun with that girl riding shotgun.
As fall has arrived, it's a good thing there are still plenty of tours out there to keep you warm. Let's take a quick peek at who's going where and when. Time for our first quick little break, but before we go, we have a few copies of You Can't Make Old Friends from Kenny Rogers up for grabs. If you want to enter this week's drawing, head on over to InsideMusicRow.com to get signed up. Now for that break, but make sure to come on back after this. We've got the gambler himself coming up next.
Hey, I'm Kenny Rogers, and I should tell you, I'm coming up next on Inside Music Row.